How you doing, Shahid?
Talk to me, man. How's it going?
Yeah, well, it's going good.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a quick video regarding some thoughts of normal people, right? So not some fancy stuff you see off the news or conspiracy theory videos. So Shah, I just want to say welcome. Thank you for inviting me to your place.
No problem, man.
And I know things are a bit tense at the moment, but we're going to talk about that. So how are you feeling? How's things with you?
I'm calm, brother. I'm actually chilling, relaxing. I do wonder about what's going on out there. You know, I know there's a lot of people going through some mass hysteria, panic. You know, I know the shopping centers have been closed off, and whatnot. And you know what? All I'm saying is just be calm, everyone out there. You know, this is not the end of the world. All right, we've been through this before. You know, in the history of mankind, there have been so many of these cases where, you know, you can go all the way back to the Black Plague, for example, where, you know, 200 million people died. We are talking about something where we can actually, the human have advanced so much that we got so much now that we can, you know, counter this with just a little bit of time and patience from everyone and working together without panicking. You know, will help this, you know.
So let's talk about panic. I mean, what do you think has brought this panic on? I mean, obviously people have seen stuff or heard stuff places, and there's a kind of panic about going and bulk buying toilet rolls and buying this and buying that. Where do you think this panic has come from?
I think a lot of this has been created by the media, all right? But also a lot of this has been created by people just putting fake news out there.
Yeah.
You know, and there are people who actually believe in all this without applying any logic, any common sense, and that's where the panic kicks in from. Okay, the supermarkets are saying we got enough stock. The manufacturers are saying, you know what, we'll supply you with everything you need. What is the need for us to go all out like that? You know, there are people queuing up, injuring each other to buy things, all because they want to stock up. Stock up for what? You don't know what's around the corner. Nothing's closing except from maybe schools, colleges and whatnot, and your local gym. The supermarket is a place where we need to go do our shopping. It is remaining open. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
So you're absolutely right. So a lot of these videos that get posted out, and I've seen a couple of videos flying out on YouTube as well, and WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, a lot of these videos are not actually from this current moment. There are some videos that me and you watched one that was from the London riots, right?
Exactly.
Which was many years ago.
Yeah.
And it looks like people are panicking and rioting. I mean, yes, there's videos of people putting about the army and, you know, being deployed. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the army being deployed perhaps is something that is maybe a drill that they're practicing at the moment. Just what if, just in case. Because at the moment, the army is kind of mainly used for like fighting a war or, you know, like going and doing flood defenses, which they've been doing up in the north. So in terms of deploying the army, what's your thought about that?
Look, I think a martial law type of scenario is imminent, okay, in the next couple of days. But I think that UK is not used to a situation where, you know, where the military is controlling your high street kind of thing, right? Imagine being told you can't leave your home, or you can't leave your home at certain times, or you can't leave your home unless it's just something very important, like go buy some bread or milk or whatever. I get that, but there are countries out there who are used to armies running their shows.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
yeah.
It's a reality that we have to maybe learn from and get used to. Okay, I personally think the military being involved at this stage is a good thing.
Right.
Why? Because look at I mean, okay, we are a bit behind, slightly behind, but look at the scenario in Italy, for example. The number of cases are just skyrocketed within days.
Do you think that's because they done stuff late? Is that why? Or?
No, because they haven't done much to contain it.
Right.
All right. Here, if you look at, and I think me and you, we looked at a graph earlier on, okay? If you look at the amount of resources the NHS have to tackle this versus the amount of cases that could potentially rise up every day, there's not enough. All right. Even putting all this in place, you're looking at, you know, from the resources, the sources that we have, over 250,000 people would die by August. All right. Imagine if the military didn't get involved. Imagine that everything as it is, as we are doing right now, we just carried on. So many, ways we can get infected. All right.
Yeah.
And imagine then that's the worst case scenario for me. I don't think the military being involved is a bad thing. It's not like that, you know. I know people are saying they saw tanks. I didn't see any tanks. Okay, I maybe saw those Red Cross vans and things. You know, that's important.
Yeah.
I think personally maybe they'll have a way of testing people on the spot.
Yeah.
Which is important because NHS is not doing that right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And in some cases, I think, you know, this thing affects the elderly more.
Yes.
The over 60s, all right. That doesn't mean that the youngsters, you know, just go out there willy-nilly. They need to. They can infect other people,
and that's the whole reason why, right? So today is a day where they announce by Friday they are going to close all UK schools, and there is an element of different staff that have children they're going to be allowed to go to school. That's a different topic, but I think in terms of the children, they're saying that, you know, what they studied is that children aren't as prone to become symptomatic of this, but they can actually pass the viruses on. And because it's such a closed environment, also teachers as well, a lot of teachers, there's been one school where there's been a shortage of teachers that they had to close the schools down. And again, this is a bit of panic as well for those parents that work. Both parents may work, or single parents, whatnot. They're the only breadwinner of the house. They're going to be thinking to themselves, oh, if I am having to look after my child at home, what are the implications in terms of my income? That's a big worry, because we'd all love to sit at home, right? I mean, we'd love to put our feet up. I'm just saying theoretically, just to have some time off of work and get paid, right? We do that on our holidays. But technically, you said there was you spoke to me that there was a date that the government announced in terms of an imminent or possible lockdown. What was the date of that?
I think the possible lockdown is from the 20th of March to the 5th of April.
Right.
Obviously, the government thinks this is enough time to maybe, you know, give them that, give them, I mean, not to, contain it, but also not have any new cases of infection.
So they call it suppression or something like that.
Yeah, well, it's just pretty much just containing the situation, really. And I think, like I said, it's a good thing, because if you just don't do nothing about it, the situation is going to be far worse.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, I don't remember in my whole life seeing the army out in the street. I mean, you see police officers, you see armed officers. That's something, even when you see an armed officer, it's like, wow, you know. But the army on the street is something, obviously,
it's different.
Perhaps maybe we need that. Perhaps maybe it's a way of just controlling the environments that everyone's safe. It's not generally, you know, to put us on a lockdown because the government want to control us and whatnot, right? But again, we talk about government control and conspiracy theorists and stuff like that. This video isn't for that. There's so many videos out there. They say it was created in a lab or sent down from space or whatnot. I don't know, but these are the things that are going to get us more stressed out. And I think people get wound up the more they stress, because yes, it is a very volatile situation. You know, we need to look after our parents, we need to look after young ones. They're not just elderly or young, people who have underlying issues as well. There's been a few cases where people under the age of 40 have contracted and died as well. And remember, there are countries in this world, we were talking about this earlier on, and with somebody else, is that there are countries like India, Bangladesh, many, you know, third world countries where those people don't go to hospital and they possibly die and get buried. So there's no record of that. So we don't actually know how many people have actually passed away, just like Ebola, you know. But like I say, this is something that, like you said, it's happened before. This is something, it's not completely new. We've had various other flus, swine flu, the Black Plague, and in 1918 there was another
cholera, all that. You know, if look, the what was it, the Japanese flu, that flu. Look, we've been through a lot. We are in a better place now than before. We are better prepared.
Definitely.
You know, people just have to be patient and be calm. I know one of the bad thing about this situation is when people are being told to go and work from home. It's good and bad, because it stops the virus from spreading, but these people are isolated. And when you're isolated, your brain, you know, it goes into this different mode where you're thinking everything, you know, what's going on. There's a conspiracy here, conspiracy there. Just be calm. You know, the reality here is a little bit different. Just have some faith in your government. You know, I know they're not always the best place to have faith in.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands, indeed. But look, just be calm. Look after each other, and you know. Think about, you know, me personally, I think this gives everyone a chance to learn more about this. Definitely. You know, when you are isolated, or if this is a martial law where we're, you know, confined within our homes at certain times, use that time to study and learn. Maybe in the future we can avoid such catastrophes, you know.
Yeah. And also, like, say, a lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
Perhaps maybe we're too comfortable. Perhaps maybe like we've taken so much of this toilet rolls for granted. And you know, I'll give you a certain example. Like, you know, everything is at our fingertips. You know, we want bread, it's there. We want you know, hand sanitizer is there for 69p for a big bottle, right? And we take things for granted. But now, obviously, there's a shortage. People are panicking. Things are going up. And talking about prices, I mean, do you agree with these shops that are doing inflated prices for stuff? So I'll give an example. I went into a shop the other day. Matter of curiosity, I saw some hand sanitizers behind the counter. I don't actually think they were hand sanitizers. They were designed how 99% or 2% they are. It had a weird international writing on it.
Okay.
But I asked the guy, like, oh, you're selling hand sanitizers? And he goes, yes, I am. How much are they? He goes, $11.99. And that was for a bottle like this big. It was probably like not even 50 ml, it was 40 ml. What's your thoughts on that, where businesses are selling items for overly inflated prices? What do you think?
Personally, obviously, I think I've seen quite a few of those things on the side, government sides actually, that they're not allowed to do that anyway. And there is a number you can call to report that if a retailer is spiking the prices up like that, because they are literally not allowed. I know some of them are saying, oh, our suppliers have put their prices up. That's not our problem. We are the consumers, you know.
But then their argument could be that we're having to pay. I'll give you an example, right? So I went to buy meat the other day, and normally I pay $3.99 a kilo, right? So a sort of bag of meat, the kind of quantity I brought would have cost me about 50 quid maximum, maybe even less, sometimes £41 depending on how big the meat bag is. This cost me £86 and it was smaller quantity. So when I took it home, I'm like, this isn't going to last us for 3 days, right? Yeah. Now, the question I asked to the retailer, the shop, is, you know, how comes it's costing me £86? He turns around and says, well, I pay the guy who delivers it, the company delivers it, I pay them. They're the ones that put the prices up. So in terms of a retailer...
Look, I don't buy that. I really don't buy that. I think, look, as a consumer, you know, when you see a difference in price from the day before and now, I think that's wrong, and you can report that. And there are certain, you know, watchdogs out there that will, you know, look into that.
So we should report the suppliers then?
No, we should report our retailer. The retailer, in turn, can report the supplier.
Right.
That's not our problem.
But then they're going to be like, he's the guy that supplies me when I lose our contact, our trade. I mean, I'm not defending the retailers anyway, but I want to have an argument, but I want to be able to win the argument to say, well, that's not right.
There are regulatory bodies in, you know, overlooking any business types here.
Right.
You know, and if we go the right way about it, we can do that. But don't forget how all this is created. It's created by the public anyway. It's created, you know, because people decided that, you know, they just go and buy everything.
Well, saying that, I went to a shop the other day, and you know when you go to a car showroom and you see a for sale sign, and each car that is sold says sold on it. So I went to a halal shop the other day. Every bag of rice had a sticker saying sold, 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 sold. It made me laugh, right? I'm thinking, I actually didn't want to buy bulk, but I just went to pick up a bag of rice, which I only needed. And I was like, can I have that rice? And he goes, brother, that is sold. I'm like, sold? And it had a sold sign on it, which made me laugh, but he had no more rice left. And the funny thing is that guy, I know him for many years. Not going to mention any names, but I felt a bit sorry for him. So everyone had panic buyed so much that he hasn't got enough meat or rice in his own house. So he's like, I'm waiting. I've given everybody out my suppliers, but I haven't got enough for my own family members. My uncles, my aunts are all asking. And again, it's, you know, I think putting a ration on stuff is good, because even with that shop, they're allowing a certain amount of quantity to be sold. And I think as deliveries come in, if people ration, maybe pick up 1 or 2, you know, for you to take your uncle's truck along and load it up. And again, there was a case where I saw yesterday, a lady had taken a big bag of tissue, and I'm talking, not even bag, a box, like a crate, and she goes, oh, I'm giving it out to my friends that don't have it and stuff. It's like everyone's in the queue waiting for it. So that shop didn't ration it. But we'll like I said, we'll end the video quite soon. But like I say, in terms of learning, like I was saying, this is something we've got really comfortable with, and maybe people should, you know, learn from this. Is that there could be a time, I mean, we talk about it like as if it's in a million years time that the world's going to run out of coal or run out of gas. the times now we're actually starting to run out of stuff, right?
You know, this virus in so many ways has been created by us human, not like us, me and Shah, by humans, right? But look, I also see the positive out of all this as well, and I mentioned that to you, right?
Yeah.
In a way, it's a good thing. A lot of these industries have closed down in fear that they don't want to infect people or get infected themselves. The airline industry is like reduced by 60-70%. Look how much pollution is reduced over the last couple of weeks. How much it's a good, for the planet. It's a very good thing.
And again, it's something that we learn as well.
Exactly.
Like, at the moment, how much plastic we waste and how much fuel that we burn. It's something, maybe there's a sign somewhere to say this is the time when change is needed. And if we change in the right way, perhaps the next time round it comes, we are ready,
better prepared. Yeah, exactly.
Not to say you'll stock up loo roll from now, but the most important thing is, we kind of use as much as we need, not overuse. So Shahed, thank you very much. And just, you're a businessman yourself. We didn't touch on that. Just quickly, how do you think it's affecting businesses in terms of small businesses? I know the big businesses, they have different plans and the backings. I know obviously the Chancellor has put out certain funds for small businesses, loans, whatnot. Do you think that's going to help small businesses?
I think it will help small businesses that are aware that this is available, and I think it's being available from next week. You can put a link down on this video. But it's going to affect the entertainment and the catering industry more than anything.
Yeah.
Because when you have restaurants that are empty, when you have pubs and bars that's nobody going into, it's going to have a huge impact, and those businesses are going to suffer. Generally, every small business is out there going to go through this problem, but there are help from the government. Obviously, the government wants to help businesses, wants to have everybody, and I'm sure they don't want to go through another recession. No. So they will try everything.
It's a long time to recover from that.
Exactly. One, right? Yeah. But this is probably why they got the military involved, or getting them involved sooner rather than later, because it's better to prevent all this than look for a cure. I think everything the government is doing, so far from where I'm sitting, it looks good. Yeah, I know it's different, it's scary for a lot of people. I'm sure it's scary. It's probably going to be different for us too. Yeah. When we have to be, confined within our homes and not, whatnot. But look, there are benefits out of all this, Imagine if we didn't have this kind of government, or if we didn't have this kind of help in, place, we would probably already have a larger number than Italy.
Definitely.
So for us, just don't panic, be calm, help each other, and don't feel alone. Just be there. You're not gonna infect somebody over the phone or WhatsApp. Keep in touch with people. Keep in touch with your close ones.
Just don't send viruses using LimeWire and stuff like that. Yeah.
I don't think that exists anymore.
For those of you who don't know LimeWire, you can Google it and
Kazaa.
Yeah.
Is the other one.
That's back in the days.
But listen, just take care of yourselves, man. It's not the end of the world. Just enjoy your life. Look, we are in different times at the moment, but like I said, there's good and bad in everything. Just see the good in what's going on right now, and chill.
Definitely. So follow more of our videos. We are going to be doing some additional videos. If you want some videos done for us to talk about anything else, I am doing interviews with other people. There's some Islamic videos as well. There's some videos with businesses and stuff like that. So keep watching this video and keep safe and keep well and look after your loved ones.